Now, if you want to share Finico with other people, you'll need to understand the compensation plan, i.e. the bonuses that you receive when someone joins up using your link and makes a purchase. Alright, let's check out those bonuses. I'm going to break the compensation plan down into two parts. Now, part one is the simple part. We get a 5% referral bonus. So in order to qualify to receive the 5% referral bonus, you must have personally purchased at least one CTI. Now, CTI is like 1 unit of the trading package, and each one costs $1,000. So you've purchased your CTI and then you start sharing your link. When one of your direct referrals purchases a CTI, you receive a bonus of 5% of the purchase price. So 5% of one CTI costing $1,000 is $50. And if your direct referral later purchases more CTIs, you still get 5%, so long as you're still qualified. Now, bonuses are treated like profit, so the same withdrawal rules apply. So you can withdraw them in the same way as you withdraw your profit. So in order to share Finico with other people, we need to give them our referral link. So if you scroll down on the dashboard to affiliate program, you'll see your referral link here. Just click copy and it will copy that to the clipboard. Now, the other important thing it shows on this screen is your level. And you see there's a star beside this. So these are your bonus levels. Now, I currently qualify for level 2. So let me scroll down here to partners. So right now, I've got 166 partners across 4 levels. So a partner is a referral. And if I scroll down again to turnover, you'll see that on the left here, it says I have a turnover of 37.5 CTIs, which is 37,500 CFRs, and an actual turnover of 45,000. So what's the difference? Now, actual turnover means the total team volume that everyone in your team has produced to an infinite number of levels. So for example, if I pass my mouse over level 1 here, it says turnover of 22, but it doesn't mention actual turnover. And that's because on level 1, 100% of the team volume at level 1 counts towards your turnover. Now bear with me, this will all make sense in a minute. If I look at level 2, it says that the actual turnover is 20. But over here, my turnover is only showing as 14. So the actual turnover is 20, so that's the whole width of this bar, but I only get 70% of the actual turnover at level 2. So 70% of 20 is 14, and that 70% counts towards the turnover. So there's a difference between the actual turnover and the turnover. Actual turnover is the total volume of everybody in my team. Turnover is a percentage of that gets counted towards my level bonuses. So let me show you that in more detail. So here's the Finico compensation plan. Now there are 10 bonus levels that we can get paid from. So let's start with bonus level 1. Now to qualify, you need to have personal purchases of 1,000 CFR. Now 1 CFR is equal to $1, and 1 CTI is 1,000 of those, which is $1,000. So you need to have at least 1 CTI purchased yourself in order to qualify for bonus level 1. Now I'll come back to this column here a little bit later, but to qualify for level 1, you need to have a turnover of at least 10,000. Now your own personal purchases don't count towards that turnover. So even if you have 10,000 purchased yourself, that figure is not counted in your turnover. Your turnover is from your team. And this column shows the percentage of your referral's actual turnover that count towards your turnover. Now that might sound a little complicated, but I'll show you an example that will make it very clear in a minute. So at level 1, 100% of your level 1 referrals turnover is counted. And once you're qualified for bonus level 1, you'll receive 3% from the profits of everybody who's your level 1 referral. Now before we go into the example, I'm going to quickly show you bonus level 2 and 3 so it'll all make sense. So at bonus level 2, you also need to have at least 1,000 of personal purchases and a turnover of 30,000. But be aware that only 70% of your level 2 referrals actual turnover count towards your turnover. And at bonus level 3, you need a personal purchases of at least 2,000 and a turnover of 50,000. But please note that only 50% of your level 3 referrals actual turnover counts towards your turnover. Okay, so let's look at an example of how to qualify for the bonus level 1. So this is you, and on the right we see our turnover and our actual turnover, and it's blank. So now you purchase 1 CTI for 1,000. Now your turnover doesn't change, neither does your actual turnover, because your purchases don't count towards your turnover. Now you share your link with George, and George buys 1 CTI for 1,000. Now your actual turnover changes to 1,000, and because George is your level 1 referral, you get 100% of his turnover counting towards your turnover. So your turnover changes to 1,000. Now George signs up David, making David your level 2 referral. Now David buys 10 CTIs for 10,000. So at referral level 2 on our chart, we now see the 10,000 appear as actual turnover. And the actual turnover color is a slightly different shade of blue. And if you look at the actual turnover figure on the top right, that changes to 11,000. And because David is your level 2 referral, you get 70% of his actual turnover counting towards your turnover. So now we see the turnover bar on the chart showing as 7 CTIs, i.e. 70%. So now on the top left, our turnover changes to 8,000. Now remember, to qualify for bonus level 1, you need to have 10,000 in turnover. Now currently you've got 11,000 of actual turnover, but only 8,000 in turnover. So you still need 2,000 more in turnover to qualify for bonus level 1. Now back to David. David signs up Anna, making Anna your level 3 referral. Anna buys 4 CTIs for 4,000. So at referral level 3 on the chart, we see 4,000 appear as actual turnover. And now the actual turnover on the top right changes to 15. And because Anna is your level 3 referral, you'll get 50% of her actual turnover. So we now see the turnover bar on the chart at your level 3 referrals showing 2 CTIs, i.e. 50%. So now if you look at the turnover on the top left, that changes to 10,000. Hooray! You're now qualified to receive 3% of the profits that all of your level 1 referrals generate each trading day. So how much is that? Well, in this example, we only have one level 1 referral, and that's George, and he's got 1,000, and if the daily percentage is roughly 1%, he'll receive $10 per trading day. And you'll get 3% of that profit, which is 30 cents. So not a lot in this example. But the key thing about this example is to show you that turnover is accumulated across all your referral levels, and that turnover helps you qualify for the different bonus levels. But you only receive profits from your referrals on the levels that you're qualified for. So let's go back to the compensation plan. So we got as far as level 3, and we saw that in the percentage of referrals actual turnover, counting towards turnover, that started to decrease from 100% down to 70, down to 50, and then at level 4, that's down to 30%. So whatever your referrals at level 4 generate in actual turnover, you get 30% of that counting towards your turnover. So to qualify for level 4, you need personal purchases of 3,000 and a turnover from your team of 70,000. And then you'll get 3% from your level 4 referrals. Now down at level 5, you can see on the far right that you get a 500 bonus as an extra bonus for getting to that level. So that's nice to get that. Now down at level 6, you can see that we have an extra requirement here in order to qualify. And that requirement is that one of your direct referrals on level 1 needs to have qualified for the level 2 bonus. So that means that they have to have 1,000 of their own personal purchases and a turnover of 30,000. Once they do that, if you also have 7,000 of personal purchases and a turnover of 200,000, then you qualify for level 6. And you'll also get an extra bonus of 1,000. Now I'm going to jump down to level 8 because level 8 is where things become really, really interesting from my perspective anyway. Because if you look on the far right, at level 8, you get a bonus of 5,000, right? That's great, brilliant, I like that. but you get a flat rate of 2% daily on your personal purchases. So we know that on a daily basis, we're getting 1%, 1.1, 1.2%, a variable rate. But at level 8, you will receive a 2% flat rate on all of your personal purchases each trading day. So it doesn't matter if the rate is 0.5%, 1%, 1.2%, whatever that is, that's irrelevant to you because you now get a 2% flat rate every trading day. Now that is massive. There's an average of 21 trading days in a month, sometimes 22, but let's say 21 trading days. That means that you generate on your own personal purchases 42 to 44% every month. Now that is absolutely phenomenal. That is huge. That is the level that I want to get to, level 8. And that's the kind of level that when you hit that, the likelihood is you're going to bump your personal purchases up to as high as you can manage. And look at these figures. Now I'm in a lot of platforms where to get to the higher levels, maybe 1, maybe 2 people in the whole company can reach that level. But that's not the case in Finico. These levels are achievable for a lot of people. So let's look at the criteria here. So 10,000 of your own personal purchases. Okay, that's doable for a lot of people. And in terms of your team, you have to have one of your direct referrals on bonus level 4 up here, and then 2 of your direct referrals on level 3 up here, and then a turnover of 400,000. Now, in my opinion, that's a very achievable figure, 400,000 turnover. It might take someone a few months to get to that level, but it is achievable. You know, when you get down to level 10 here and it says 1 million, now some people might be put off by that figure, but 400,000, that is achievable for a lot of people. Now, if you get to the next level, level 9, then you get a car or the monetary equivalent of a car, and your daily rate changes to 2.5% flat rate daily on your personal purchases. And if you manage to get up to 1 million turnover, then that goes up to 3% daily. And although we've seen that the bonus paid on referral profits is 3%, when you get to level 10, that increases to 3.5%. Now, there are only 10 levels that we can receive profit from, but the turnover is cumulative across all levels. And from level 11 down to infinity, 1% of the actual turnover counts towards your turnover, which is amazing. Now, the really interesting thing I think about Finico is it's well known in Russia, but in the West, it's not well known at all. So we have an amazing opportunity here to be building large teams at a very early stage. So can you imagine in 6 months from now, with an infinite number of levels, getting 1% of turnover from the people at level 1,000, for example, that trickles up to you into your turnover, helping you to qualify for these 10 bonus levels. I think this compensation plan is fantastic, and I've got my sights set on bonus level 8. Anyway, I hope you found this useful. I think Finico is a very unique opportunity. We have a licensed company, a visible CEO, we've got proof of trading. All the boxes are checked. All right, guys, keep safe, take care.